Is this thing on? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Is this thing on? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Thor News, and it has been a crazy 6 years, 5 years, who knows. And this is a test to see if live works. This is a test to see if audio on live works. This is a test to say, thank you, I love you, I appreciate you. Hey, Pirate Pap Gaming, how are you? Hayden, good to see you. It's good to be back online. This is a crazy world. Because as we move forward in time, progress does not always do the best. And so, I was just coming on a Saturday Night Live. And I'm going to try and get funny, but I might be too emotional and a little too paranoid. What is up, Olympus and Bloom? Yay. Okay, now we're going to test the inside audio to see if it works. Plus, this video is amazing. Right before winter started or right around winter, I made this video. You know, because sometimes I kind of see the future, but in like a really weird way. Like a really melty comic book of imagination. And so I made this video and I watched it during the downtime. And I was like, holy smokes, this is great. I want to know, I love you guys. I think you're awesome. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the letters and the laptop and the care package. Olaf, you guys are amazing in the books. Okay, here we go. We're going to test it. I'm glad to be back. Can you hear it? Is the audio okay? No video. It's black. Is there audio? Is it still black? Sorry for this test. All right. Is there video now? She's cute. All right. This is sloppy. My production value is back to the back. What about now? Is it working now? Can you see anything? Black screen. That's interesting. Audio good, blank screen. So it's just like radio. Hey, caramba. I gotta get better at this shit. But like I said, they popped up. I don't know. I think they're already in the machine, man. The Matrix is always in the Matrix. Okay, I'm trying to fix the... What the heck? Okay, I'll be back. Against all odds, introducing Rapping One from Farmers Boulevard. Where's it at? Ladies and gentlemen, I should do like an Orson Welles thing. Where it's just radio, because display capture. Why are you not capturing my display? I can figure this out. Although it may not be very entertaining while I do. Oh, to be just... Well, I'm just getting black. Okay. I can see the chat. And so I'm gonna try and fix this. I'm gonna try and stand. Okay. See right here. What about that? Dang it. I'm good at the creative stuff, but the technical shit, I don't even know. And I think I need to learn to code. That's the only way I'm going to solve my own problems. And I've never wanted to code because I think it screws up my imagination and my sense of humor. Because no offense, no coders I've ever known were really funny. You know, people have different skills. Some people are really good with numbers, which are more like static. And some people have good with words, which are more malleable. So you need both, you know. What am I doing here? Come on. Myself, I'm making me look like a fool. Okay, shut up. But hey, was that not the... There's no lens cover. There's no, I'm just trying to capture the display on this program. I might get it, but that's what I'm saying. It's not interesting while I do. Okay, so I'm going to try and solve this problem, and then I will jump back on. Reach out. I will do. I might even get so crazy in the next 4 days to put my phone number online, and then everybody can call, because that phone is so fucking hacked. I got to get a new phone, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole weird thing about digital is it's like mentally being molested. Like, people can tap right the fuck in to your phone, to your computers, to all your devices, and then they can go in your bank accounts and go in your PayPal. Like, they can fuck with you and molest you and rape you in however ways they want to. You know, like, I'm just here trying to tell y'all about the weather and the situation and Brexit from my point of view, which technically doesn't agree with any single person about everything. There's not a single person on the planet that we agree on everything about. I can guarantee you that. So I'm trying to be me. And I went to film school twice, and have been making videos films since I was 7 years old. So I'm really good at it. Because I love it. Storytelling with pictures and sounds and words, that's like my favorite thing to do. You know, make him. Well, not my favorite, but anyway, it was a time. And yeah, I've been doing it since I was 7 years old, man. Like, I used to take VHS recorders, 2 of them, and then, like, make edits on VHS by plugging 2 VHS recorders because I was so fucking fascinated by editing. And then as the technology got better, like, once they stuck a editing bay in a computer, Avid, I believe the first program that everybody used was called. Now everybody uses Final Cut Pro, but I use Premiere. Although I worked on all 3. I'm just saying, I love to edit and make videos and films and write and tell jokes. And so to have so many people like try and stop me and then kick the shit out of me while I'm just trying to do my thing, man. Like, out of all the people in the world, like, I'm in my, like, I literally haven't left this house much in the last 3 years because people have been going fucking crazy. Like, people have just been losing their minds, including me. Like, the world has been a very weird place especially the last 3 years, where it's just been everybody hate all the time, everybody angry all the time, everybody making fun of people all the time, everybody talking about who to blame all the time, everybody Debbie Downering it all the fucking time. You know, like, and so I've been trying to, like, counterbalance that shit. Like, as one of the few people on the planet who is trying to counterbalance all the negativity in the world, there has been a lot of negativity. And it's like, you can only drive the world so dark, so bad. Like, you can only go so far. And it's just been a crazy ass time to be there trying to be like, hey, dude, I'm going to get up on stage for 10 minutes. I'm going to tell you about the weather and what the fuck we got to do to get the fuck out of this 1970s, like, carnival we're in and build a world of the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many cities have you spent shit tons of time on the highway with burning fucking gasoline because the traffic is shit ass and the gasoline's too expensive? You've spent a large percentage of your life, if you're a common American male or female adult, you've spent a large percent of your life on the highway burning gas, listening to fucking ads on your fucking radio. You know, like, hey, man, we need cities of the future. Like, if there was, like, we got to stop fighting war, mankind fighting each other. And we got to build cities of the future in safe places as the earth changes, man. And go look at the fucking mountains. Go over the middle of the ocean. Go across, look at the geography. This shit has been going on for a long fucking time. And that no man, woman, or group controls every aspect of the fucking planet. And the planets have always been there. The sun and the moon and outer space, though what it is very weird, and I have no fucking more idea now than I did when I was 15, and I don't need anybody to tell me what's in outer space, because at this point I am 47 fucking years old, and I would like to find out for myself. I don't want to hear anybody tell me about outer space anymore. I want to go experience it for myself, if that is possible, if we can get beyond the Van Allen fucking belts. You know what I'm saying? I was dreaming of jetpacks and being on the moon as a kid. I wasn't dreaming of fucking being stuck in a fucking foxhole where I can't even edit videos and I got people fucking jawboning me about how we've never been to the fucking moon. And let me tell you something, man. You don't know. I don't know if we've been or I don't know if we haven't fucking been. That's like how fucked up the world is. And you don't fucking know either. None of us know the shape of the fucking planet. Is it perfectly round? Is it flat? Who fucking knows, man? We can't even get beyond low Earth orbit. We've been stuck. We got outside low Earth orbit, and then they were like, JFK was like, there are people who want to stop technology and Earth progress in our place. They want to take our space program and throw it in the dirt. And bam, he died. And guess what? They stopped our fucking technology evolution progress. They handed us computers and smartphones. And then the media became everything like politics, sell humanity out to itself all day, every day once I get off work. What was it talking about? Oh. See, like this guy, fuck YouTube. What are you, like the finest? Well, like, I don't even know what that fucking means, man. You were dealing with trillionaires here as a guy who's like been trying to work out a truce between the 52 major corporations of the world over the last 20 years, dude. Like, how does this even, what does this even mean? Like, out of the pyramid of talented movers and shakers, the people who know how to do things and get shit done, people who know how to feed a planet, people who know how to build cities, people who know how to get to the moon, people who know how to fucking fully staff and get an aircraft carrier from here to there to the bottom of the fucking ocean, man. Do you realize they conquered pressure, but they took the cap off pressure like somewhere in 2008? So, like, this is what I'm saying, like, if this were a classroom, I'd be like, okay, let's get this guy out of my classroom. You know, like, what is that even in this world? It's like the people who just like, the only way I can fucking get any attention is by sticking my hand down my pants when I shit myself and then rub it into all of my face and then walking into a room where nobody wants me and saying, hey guys, let me smear some of the shit I smeared on myself all over you. I'm in a bad mood. I want people to be unhappy. So here, have some of my happiness. Well, let me tell you this. It's better to share happiness. Because anybody can be mad. Anybody can blame. Anybody can take something that happened to them 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and let that carry around like a fucking anchor. Everybody's so stuck in the past. We've been talking about the Clintons and Trump nonstop since the fucking 90s. It's like, dude, let's go forward. And that if we're going to talk about Trump and the Clintons, let's do it from the motherfucking moon. It's like a television. Your smartphone is like a television. You just convince you that, oh, you can take your television around with your hand. So now everybody's like so addicted to the television again. So their smartphone tells them fucking everything. You know? And then the smartphone and the people who run the smartphones decide who can and say what. This is all about controlling the narrative, right? And so I have been trying to control the positivity narrative. The counterbalance to all the shitheads that are out there. They try and say really mean things to hurt people's feelings. The shitburger givers. So yeah, it ain't been fun because trying to be the cool guy, like if somebody smears shit all over you, you gotta be like, hey dude, I forgive you, my Lord Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, the one who holds my hand when someone stabs me is like, do not stab them back. Do not cut their throat. Forgive them. Tell them a joke. And one day, they will grow and they will learn. Because I haven't given up on anybody. It is God's place to judge. It is not mine. Yeah, if you punch me, I'm going to punch you back. But that's the thing is, hackers, that ain't punching, dude. That is just like someone you're in a classroom and someone's locked you in a classroom and you can't get the fuck out. And then they get to like fill it with farts and spiders. Like, dude, you could be doing 100 million other things. Why are you filling the room with farts and spiders, man? Like, who wants farts and spiders? And, you know, like how many groups you got? Like, what, maybe 10, 20 people who are keeping me offline, keeping me from, like, being able to focus on making videos, edited videos nonstop. You got 20 people, so what? You can take away my over 1 million views. That's over 1 million views, or like what 100,000 views, 1 million minutes a month. 200,000. That's 200,000. Like even if it's 100,000 people show up to my church, asterisk, so I can do my daily sermon. You're gonna like take that away, and especially in times where people need it and floods, and they're making trips of like, do you want to get it? Like when I talked to my aunt a few months ago, when she was like, should we go to the Caribbean? I was like, hell no, on a cruise ship. Although they went and they were fine. It's a Viking family. We're badass. We're tough. And so, if I give people advice, I really mean it. Though lately we've seen a lot more, like the oceans are not necessarily a safe place. If I'm giving people advice, like even if I'm honestly saying, if you were going to buy a place in the future, here are the safe spots. Like I'm literally, like when I do this, there's more pressure than you will ever understand. Doing what I've done for the last 20 years, trying to work out a deal with everybody and the 52 largest quote-unquote corporations, asterisk LLC families. Over the last 20 years, being like, dude, we can't throw it in the dirt. We can't have mutually assured destruction. We can't just fucking, like, be egotistical idiot assholes who want everybody to fail. We're in this together. We're one fucking family, man. We are all in this fucking shit together. And we are going to make it work. And so, like, the last 20 years, it's been the people who can, like, force down your throat. No, we're going to fail. No, Nibiru's going to kill us. No, the fucking Democrats are going to kill us. No, the Republicans are going to kill us. No, the Illuminati's going to kill us. No, DEP 30 is going to kill us. No, like people who've been selling you why we're going to fail. I am not one of those people. I will not be one of those people. And, yeah, for now, keep getting the shit kicked out of me. But things have been weird. And somehow, no matter how many times I get to the edge of the cliff, I always bounce back. And I avoided near death 3 times, like in the last year, like where, whoa, I should have died. And you know what happened? My boy, my friend of like 30 years, the other half of my better half in a band called Silver Blue Sun, we put some songs up. He took me to a rock and roll show the night all this shit started. Wow, thank you, Obi-Wan. Love you, man. I love you, man. Fitzroy the H took me to go see Swerve Driver and Failure. And so as a guy who has asked for the return of rock and roll for all people and all good music, to not have one corporate entity, LLC, accountant group, control all of music as you hear it in the big narrative. Fitzroy took me to see 2 of the best rock and roll bands I'd ever seen in my life. Right? And so that alone was super fantastic. But let me tell you a Thor story, because I get the shit kicked out of me a lot by people, but the universe rewards me. Because the show alone was like, oh my God, blew my mind. And I danced. I am chubby and out of shape because I've been laying here for like 6 years. Like I was on the ISS making fucking videos and watching the planet all day, every day. Like Mother Earth is a giant, beautiful process just to watch whatever the fuck is going on. Like if I can't stare at my own girl's titties and ass and face, then I guess I'll stare at Mother Earth's titties, ass, and face. And so, yeah, to get out, what was the time? Anyway, I started thinking about titties. See, and it fucked me up. That's why nipples are bad. Because they knock you off your point. You listen to Tool? I mean, I think Tool is great. And then if you're going to make a mixtape, Tool can definitely be included to fill out the variety of the mixtape. But I definitely have not had the energy over the last 3 years to just listen to Tool straight, like for an hour. Weirdly enough, the 2 bands that I've been like soundtracking for my life have been mostly The Strokes, and that's pretty much, I don't know, been for what, 15 years? The Strokes always, that's the level that's kind of what I'm feeling. Or Imagine Dragons. Lately, their newer stuff has been like, hey, this is my life soundtrack. Well, but hey, thanks for this rant. And so I just had to figure out how to get the fucking screen to work. But like Christian Slater in that one movie where he's underground and they're all trying to arrest him and throw him in jail. Well, guess what? He wins the girl at the end. He wins Winona Ryder, dude. That's the point of my story. Check this out. So I had some religious experiences while I had to unplug from Mother Earth because I've been tapped in, dude, like the Neo in the Matrix. Like, I've been tapped the fuck in. Like straight up hardcore blood, mind, everything into whatever the smart shit is, where you can talk to anybody, anywhere, anytime on the planet, and they can listen for a long time. And so I have my crushes. You know, I even put the girls in the women, like the thumbnails. If I had a big crush, I like to weave women into the narrative too. The superhero narrative is boring if it's all dudes. And so, I know I've had my crushes. My crush list hasn't grown, and it's very important to me. It's very, very, very. The Valkyries are the women who inspire me, because I'm single, no kids, whatever. They're important to me. And it don't matter if you like it or like any of them. That's not, my taste in women is the only thing that matters to me when it comes to dating or all things that we used to know as romance and chivalry. What am I talking about? Oh, so you guys know pretty much my crush list. Shit, I've visually reinforced them so many times over the last 6 years and 2,500 videos. Anyway, so I went to see the show with Fitzroy. And there in the front, we're like, I don't know, 11, 12 feet away, was like one of the most visually stunning women I've ever seen my entire life. Ever. And I've seen a lot. I was like, whoa. No way. And so she was beautiful, and she looked like she came straight out of a modern Harry Potter film. I mean, she was dressed so cool, like from Hogwarts. And because Houston's a lot like Hogwarts, or Rice is. It's hard to explain. And so she was dancing, and I was dancing. And so for the first band, I don't know, it felt like every 3 minutes she would totally turn around to watch me dance for a little bit and then turn back around. And I'm a funny, dumb dancer, awesome dancer, so it don't matter why you watch me dance, because I'm good and I'm having fun. And so I was like, oh my God, of all, like, this is literally, this is one of the most visually stunning women I've ever, like, oh wow, like, whoa. If beautiful women were like a drug, then she was visually Easter basket of whoa. And then, so then the show was great, but for the second show, everybody moved up, and then she danced the whole time. But I mean, it was just a fantastic evening. And so I was thinking about that girl. I haven't tweeted about her after. And I was like, wow, man. She definitely looked like an X-Man from my all-female X-Man DC MCU Marvel crossover thingy. And so I had cleaned my apartment. I rehooked up. I got a second screen. And then hooked my PS4 back up. And I had 2 DVDs that showed up in my apartment. I don't know where they came from. One was Pitch Perfect, and then the other was The Matrix. And I'd seen The Matrix like 100 times. Me and my old roommate Jack used to leave it on like either that or Dark Knight Returns with Heath Ledger. For like a year that me and one of the greatest guitar players I've ever known lived together, we would leave those 2 movies on, like the DVD player just going all day. I don't know why. He didn't know why, but we let it happen. The Matrix either ran or Batman Dark Knight Returns with Heath Ledger ran like every day. And then, well, we both drank beer and played guitar and stuff. So, just seemed to fit right in. And so Pitch Perfect, dude. Anyway, I'd never seen Pitch Perfect before. And it was like a religious experience. That is so true. Like, I love good movies. They were like one of my favorite things growing up. It's why I started making videos and films as a kid. It is why I started writing screenplays at age 13. It is why I went to film school twice. Because movies, videos, like the whole 3-act narrative storytelling process of learning lessons and then finally getting to victory after overcoming so many obstacles. I love it. And so Pitch Perfect blew my mind. It was like, it was filled with John Hughes' heart. I don't know. If you don't know who John Hughes is, I'm surprised you're in Asteroid Fight Club. Because John Hughes made like Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, Home Alone, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And as time goes on and they don't make as many good comedies, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles will be one of the greatest comedies of all time with Steve Martin and John Candy. And it's just a beautiful, and it's not only that, it's not only is a movie, it's a holiday movie. Where you're like, oh, it's good, it's sugary, but it's awesome. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And so John Hughes is just a total badass. And so the movie was kind of like a throwback to John Hughes, but new. Anyway, so to me, Pitch Perfect, and then it was like the music industry fighting. All the shit I'm talking about, like the 52 Secret Society, corporation, families. That like everything I've talked about, that kind of Pitch Perfect actually covers that shit down to the like everybody wearing red and then them tearing apart the little oil rig. Okay, what was I talking about? And so I watched Pitch Perfect, and that movie blew my mind. Anna Kendrick, the whole cast, everybody was great. Anna Kendrick, those eyes. But then there was this girl, Alexis Knapp. She's in it. And I was like, oh my God, that is the girl from the Swerve Driver fucking failure show. Hey, Taylor, what is up, man? Okay. Anyway, so I was like, holy shit, the X-Men, all-female X-Men Marvel DCU crossover just got another cast member. Like, holy wow. So that was cool. And I thought just seeing her was going to bother me. My whole life I was going to be like, I would never know who that beautiful woman is. But now I found out the other day when I saw Pitch Perfect. But Pitch Perfect was amazing. It was fucking awesome. And it covered the whole, like, where there's a whole Sopranos element to music and even Hollywood that nobody really talks about. But, you know, when I was in Hollywood for 96 is, like, the greatest screenwriter of all time. You can ask Christopher McQuarrie. He did Mission Impossibles. He's a really cool guy. Anyway, but yeah, when I was out there, I was like, you know, they're like, the mafia's like, yeah, we run Hollywood. I'm like, okay, great. Yeah, you know, in Vegas, we run the dump truck, the dump. Okay, great. Like, at some point, there's the 52 mafias that run everything. And so, you know, every family in the 52 have done extremely well, especially the last 5 years, you know, and all, what you do metrics and stuff. And so, but, you know, it's kind of like the guy, as me, the guy who protects the bards, who usually get the shit kicked out of them or killed or tortured for the last 5,000 years. Really handsome, cool bards didn't last long. Eventually somebody killed them. What was he talking about? Oh, yeah, so the music industry, by like them almost literally denutting, taking away rock and roll. You know, it's been the whole time I've been like, hey, dudes, we got to bring rock and roll back. The sun wants it, the moon wants it, the stars want it, the planets want it, I want it, the people want it. You got to let music flow. You got to let that river flow. I know you bottlenecked it and you guys, you know, pretty much got the last 10 years to do whatever you want. You got 10 years to front run everything. But now that the 10 years is over, like they keep extending it. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm watching. I don't know anything. I'm just a guy who can barely get on YouTube. I mean, but I'm really cool though. But the whole point was, yeah, I don't know, man. Like just trying to counterbalance all the negativity. I've done what I can. And through the power of God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit, which to me is like the force. You know, I don't know if there's one subject where people are instantly yelling at each other, it's religion. So that's why I don't like to talk about it that much. Unless we're hanging out drinking a margarita. And I'll tell you all you want to know about Jesus Christ being a Jedi and Thor. You know? I don't know, but Avengers and Star-Lord covered it pretty well. It's like if you're hopping planets. But technically, you have world $260 trillion in debt, and you have an economic system that is modeled to give people inferior products way more expensively. And so, if you understand how, you know, when we took the cap off pressure, meaning that like you could turn pressure into energy. You know, a lot of the stuff that they've done that they don't talk much about. So, like, we've literally hit a point where you have just all these major abundances across all energy and matter fields, mass. And so, trying to stay in the 1980s, everything is horrible. Oh, my God, look, this politician shit their pants. Oh, my God, this guy, you know, he paid for, a massage parlor. But, you know, I'm not, like, slavery is bad, but we're technically the system is the enemy, and the system is the thing that has enslaved us all. And so it's now all about negativity pays. Like that's why I'm getting the shit out of me is because I don't agree with Team A or Team B. You know, I'm like trying to be like, look, see here. They're like, no, you got to join one or you won't make it. And I was like, well, dang, why am I so stubborn? You know, me and Mitch Hedberg, they probably said the same thing to him. Like, dude, you can't be that cool, dude. If you're that cool, we're going to have to get rid of you. It's like, oh, fuck, man. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to be less cool, bro. You know? Yeah, who knows how long I'm gonna be back? I can't even figure out how to get the screen on, but right now I'm not really worried about visuals. I was just thinking and letting it all out. That was the most Mercury retrograde-ish ever. So my computer went down. I lost my wallet, and how the fuck that happened, I do not. I've retraced it. Yeah, I don't think I lost it anyway, but it was gone. But lucky enough, I had gone to the DMV, and it was in my mailbox, so it wasn't a major hit. I'd lost my driver's license, then I would have been totally fucked. And there was like a sad 48 hours. I was like, oh my God, I don't have any money. I don't have a driver's license. I got nothing. Because I couldn't find my mailbox key. And it had been lost for like 3 months. But by cleaning everything, I found it. So yeah, I lost my wallet. My computers went down. I went offline during Mercury retrograde. In this 2,000-year Mercury retrograde. Yeah. There's another, like, if you have an unpopular opinion, like, there have been, like, Amber Khan, who is with the Quietest Revolution, and Leo King. They talk about astrology and the planets. And Leo is a Christian. So it's like talking about any newest Windows feature update is here. That seems... Wait. Anyway, it's just to talk about anything that either isn't Group A or Group B, and actually has like a strong message, like planetary, orbital, angular momentum. Like even saying, hey, that's my like part of my strange sun. The sun is a phoenix. Things are magic. The solar system is partially like a clock. This book I have from 1990 where it talks about all the 1999 predictions for the world. It's like a great book. Yeah. Oh yeah, Burning Man and Fire Festival. World's a crazy place, but I'm glad to be back. I don't know how long it's gonna last. You know, like because they seem to be unhappy with letting people know that there's a good chance we're going to see volcanic activity on the West Coast, and even this hurricane season. This hurricane season is going to be fucking bad, man. I can pinpoint 2 Category 4 pressure systems for you over the next one in April and then one in October. So if I can do that, and then I want you to know, and then you can counterbalance or counter figure out kind of like last year in April, remember Hawaii, if it is kind of like a clock and my whole planet's process thing is correct, then you can kind of figure out the volcano eruption that happened in Hawaii, if that is going to kind of move, then where it's going to go and when it's going to happen. So if it doesn't happen this year, but in the next year, I think we're going to see something if that is moving east. So if most of my data is good, and nobody knows everything, man, and no one system I think covers everything, it's best to keep an open mind. But if I'm gonna be like predicting storms as accurately as I do in a time where they don't want you to know that information, and they want you to just pay a fucking carbon tax, like that's the only solution. Like, hey, carbon tax. No matter what, when you hear somebody say climate change, the counter word of that is carbon tax. And so, man, that ain't, as your planetary defense commander, that is not a comprehensive strategy for what we need to do to get the people ready. And so, you know, that's why I talk about building new cities. And then when you figure out that it isn't just the carbon and we're dealing with Earth core issues, solar issues, but all of these issues are manageable if all ideas are on the table. That's why here it has a very Game of Thrones, Avengers, like turn of the century, like Mount Olympus times 100, where you literally need like half of the 52 family, secret society, corporation groups, like they all each have one piece of this puzzle that they've been drawing power from. And that I believe that if you put all the pieces of the puzzle together, that we can solve any single problem that we face as a planet and become a civilization one planet and solar system. Like we can win. We can all win, dude. We're at the point, the John Hughes generation, like, okay, yeah, we've been retrograde through, like, by going forward, we've now had to, like, go back over all the sins of history, all the mistakes, all the bullshit, all the shit, to kind of, like, all of, Astrolata was talking about this, she talks about on the 7th, there's this Andromeda, Perseus, Pegasus, Athena constellation thing happening that works out like in our. What is going on? Shit, I just lost myself thinking about Athena. Damn it. See, that is my weakness. It's beautiful women. The most beautiful women in the world make me feel dumb. Like, not dumb, my brain just stops. And it's like, oh. Yeah, but so if you had all the 52 groups, have them put in all, like, the pieces of the puzzle, you have more abundance. Everybody has as much water as they want. Everybody has as much. You have more than you ever need. And so, I don't know, man. Maybe bad things might happen, but I don't feel that. That's not what I feel. Even during this 10 days of thinking again that, holy shit, I'm going to be dead or homeless in the next few days. Statistically, it was possible, but I was calm, cool, and collected. Like, somehow it's going to work out. And unplugging has been great. Because I was plugged in pretty hardcore. So, you guys are great. And I'm crazy. But we're all crazy now. Coding is not hard. Oh, I definitely think during the last 10 years that we've been being sold this, like, man, I've been kicking the, like, what is it, the patriarchy and toxic masculinity. Man, women at the top of their game are better than men at pretty much everything except for, like, running real fast and tackling stuff real fast or chopping wood real fast, you know. Other than that, women have more technical capabilities to master skills than men do. And so it's been in this whole war of, like, men versus women. Like, what, I have sisters, and that's when my sisters are blonde and just she plays the Marilyn Monroe, like, I don't know anything, but and she's smarter than me, you know. And so, but so it, you know, yeah, women are, I think, some of the best info. What is it? InfoSec, info security, black hats, blue hats, white hats, gray hats, red hats, green hats, orange hats, blue hats. Women are definitely dominate that field. But they don't want you to know, you know. Deception is definitely involved in the hacking world. And that's what I think is funny, like, because the hackers are a large portion of the power, and I don't see hackers being extremely loyal to any one nation or anyone. Like, hackers, like me, hackers in some way have a spirit of independence. You know, and I think they always have. Who knows, though, man? Who knows? Because they came up with these quantum computers that are like mega super. The future's now, and so, like, but that's what I'm saying is, like, I know the last 40 years that, I don't know, they've just got us fighting over table scraps, you know. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even know, man. Like, I need balance between the sexes, for sure, and priorities. Like, what do we want to do? Russia aid Venezuela electric grid is just fixing hydro. But what about Spain, Austria, and France? Like, if we're talking about the real powers, did you know who has the biggest bank in the world? France. Did you know that? It's true. The country that has the biggest bank with the most assets in the whole world is France. Did you know that? France. I met a girl named France once. She was beautiful. But oh, then it hurt. Oh, then it hurt. But you got the currency, the post-dollar Phoenix currency and digital. You got all the things in place, but what you don't have is the people working together. There's no way you were going to have a grand transition with a bunch of negative energy and people wanting to see how much they can get and kill each other, or you can't go into this shit with deception. You're not going forward in the solar system with deception anymore, I don't think. Like I said, I want to go to outer space, man. I don't want to talk about flat Earth. I don't want to talk about round Earth. I don't want to talk about rockets. I don't want to talk about what is going on. I want to go to space. I'm old enough, cranky enough. Like, I just shut the fuck about space. Just get us there. Let me know. And that was another good thing. Mike Pence, I don't want to talk about fucking politics at all. This Asteroid Fight Club is, Planetary Defense Commander. If Mike Pence, 12 different corporations, and everybody is saying, we're going back to the moon. then by damn it, we're going back to the moon, man. And so, out of one of the coolest fucking things I've done on the planet is the day 2017, NASA invited me to go to their Super Bowl media day. And that day was weird. And it kind of ended with me breaking down and a long cry on the bus surrounded by like NASA press people or NASA people who were running the thing as I'm just sitting there crying because it felt like I was in a museum. So I went around to every single group every day that day, and I was like, how soon will you guys be ready to pivot to go back to the moon and bring back the space shuttle? And every single group I talked to looked me in the eye and said, we're not going back to the moon. We're not bringing back the space shuttle. Dude, it's only been like 2 years, and guess what? We're going back to the moon. So we're going to find out one way or another. Can we get out of the Van Allen belts? And the data I've seen says that no matter what, you can get out of the top or the bottom. If you look at the construction of the Van Allen belts, and there are times so you can get out. If you really want to get out, you can get out of the top or the bottom. So the best information that I have collected in my lifetime that I'm giving to you from my heart and my knowledge, but I cannot verify it, is that, yeah, you can get out, but you got to go to the top or the bottom. And that may not even be true. I can't verify it. But so I'm just saying, man, I want to know what is on the fucking moon, because my new Thor News theory is that Venus is a planet and the moon is a planet, and so they don't want us to, like, we're not going to the moon. We're not going to Venus. We're going to Mars. So nobody gave a shit about going to the moon or going to Venus. I'm like, well, JFK was like, dude, Venus is so badass. Bang. You know, and they're like, Mars. Fuck Mars. No offense, Mars. And I ain't mad at you, Mars. I'm saying I would like to go to the moon. I've always wanted to make out on the moon, play guitar on the moon, drink a margarita on the moon. You know, like, if you can turn pressure into energy, then your imagination opens up 10 times more. We know the weather and earthquakes are about to reshape the land masses. Exactly, which is a good reason to build cities of the future, and it's a way to bring people together. Like, think about it, if you have 100,000 people are like, all right, let's go build a city. And so if 100,000 build a city together over a 3-year, 2-year span, they're going to take great pride in each other building a city together, and then they live there. And so everybody in every family in that city, that they built the city together. And so they would have more pride, like they would have a chance to be part of something super special, not only living in the new city of the future, but building the city of the future together. Like, that is the type of shit we could do. And you can do that you can scale that up and down across the world, man. Like, every time they reblow the bubbles for economies, you know, it was like they reblew the housing bubble, and then you had the internet bubble. It's what they do if they continue on any type of currency. They're just going to reblow the bubbles for more people and the compounding debt. And so here's the deal. Back in 2008, I don't even know this. I'm a genius. I'm really smart. And the thing is, I've never been greedy. Women is the one thing that I really want. Everything else is like, eh. And, you know, good friends, good comedy, good conversation. What was it talking about? Dang, I had a good point to make. It'll circle back around. Yeah, I remember Attack from Mars. Equal ownership. But that is another point we are into with outer space, is that, and it's been my theory, they've been dragging asteroids into the ocean for a while. That's why I don't it's good to have like a walking 5 to 10% on precious metals just for nostalgic purposes and whatever. But I don't know, dude. I think they've been dragging asteroids into the ocean and then dragging all the different materials they pull out for a while, or at least to the moon. You don't know. So, but like I said, we're going to have a lot of the resources of outer space. Like, you already have all these old truces in place. And so if you can go capture asteroids and you can get materials off other planets, they are literally in a whole lock of not only what's going on with Earth, but like who owns outer space. I made a couple videos on it. I covered it extremely well in a time where nobody gave a fuck about subjects that really matter. And it's kind of like the thing of, you have to notice when they passed the big bills, you don't realize those big bills were horrible till like 4 or 5 years later. If we didn't learn our lesson with Glass-Steagall, like Glass-Steagall was that like the world would have been 1,000 times different if they never would have repealed that. Anyway, so in like 2015, they had a big thing about like the world is working out a new space treaty for the resources. And so they're like, now that it's kind of like the whole, okay, if we do go to Mars, and I'm not saying we aren't even there already, but how do you police Mars? Like, who gets to, like it's just weird how we're in, the universe is handing all these groups who at the time are doing extremely well, as there isn't as much regulation. So like all the it's one thing about like Trump is deregulating everything. And in a good sense, if you needed to put in a bunch of like brand new badass laws that were going to work, you would have to get rid of all the fucking old ones, but not in a really weird way that panics people. And so as more and more deregulations are running out, see Brexit, that like everybody's doing well in the stock market and all the like, hey, nobody's really watching us, we can steal from anybody we want, online, everywhere. These shit has to be worked out though. You can't just push Brexit off for like 9 days or 50 days or 100 days. That everything is the time, like every all these new things have to be worked out. They've got more shit than they know what to do with, and so we got to work it out before we get too much water, we get too much asteroids, we get too much wind, we get like, if we don't balance it out, we're fucked. You know, try to do things like it was 1950 in 2020. That's gonna be a bad scene, man. That's gonna be a bad scene. Like I said, I almost died 3 times last year. So, yeah, I'm like, if I go out tomorrow, I did my best. But if I hang in there, I don't want to fail. That's for fucking sure. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see society collapse slowly. Yay! I had a rant like this in a while. I guess this is what happens if I don't really talk to anybody for 7 days. I just get on like, yes, I need a good girlfriend. You know, I had this theory on where, what up, Noodles? Like number 43. As a planetary defense commander, it'd be nice to have 3 wives for defensive purposes so that they could watch all the flanks. And then our children would get amazingly raised well. And none of them would ever be required to have sex with me ever, you know, like a normal marriage. And I could make it work in a screenwriting level for sure. That I could trust my thing. Because I wrote a whole movie about hyperinflation. Or I sketched it all out. Where like, as the dollar, I wrote a movie, and it takes place over 7 days, and it's like this giant family, and the step family, the mom and the stepdad live on a ranch. Anyway, their kids are all over the world, and it's like in the movie, it's like day 1, bread is $1. By day 7, bread is $2 billion. And so the movie kind of takes place as the crazy son is like, hey guys, the dollar's about to collapse. And so he goes back home to the safe ranch where it's always been built to be like a safe house. And then, so like the richer kids don't come home in time as the world starts to like, you know, the world doesn't figure out that literally the dollar's about to explode till like Wednesday. And then by, you know, day 7, like, I don't know, 100 million people have died. Just because the whole fucking world is going crazy because dollars don't work anymore. No currency works anymore. Anyway, so that's the whole movie. And, so in that, like if you have one of these Mad Max scenarios, it's on like the whole Eskimo thing. That some Eskimos just have multiple wives because these were the Eskimo hunter dudes who could keep them alive and safe. And, you know, it's the whole weird thing about relationships are weird, dating's weird. And then anytime you get married, you're basically letting the government in and the lawyers. You know, that no matter, there's a whole fucking, like, look at the industries around marriage and weddings. There's the wedding industry itself is just a giant fucking industry, and then you have divorce lawyers and marriage lawyers. Like, I don't know. So who knows what's gonna happen? I haven't made out since December 4th, 2017. Did I mention? But yeah. But I don't know. I just saw one of the most beautiful women I'd ever seen before. Brand new. That was crazy. What's it called? The Petro you want. But I definitely need a girlfriend. No, but it's just a, you know, comedians used to be able to like come up with crazy ideas. Like I had this idea the other day, it was dumb. I was like, man, the world would be so different if cats smoked cigarettes. You know, like think about it, if cats couldn't talk, But they could walk up and come like, I'm taking a cigarette, dude. Like, all right, it'd be cool to smoke a cigarette with a cat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, spank one off, buddy. It's okay. But the whole thing is, what am I supposed to think about? Because I've been accused that if I think about a woman when I masturbate, my astral powers are so strong, then she feels what I thought, and then in some ways that is intrusive. And so, I know, what am I guess I could, Jessica Rabbit or Laura Croft from Tomb Raider. I'm telling you, being a male in 2019 is weird. Yes, that's why superheroes should date superheroes. And that's why I try and choose. I used to try and choose wisely. Now I just try and, I don't know. I shut it down after dating the White Queen in Phoenix. But hopefully, a lot of good healing was done, and it will work out fantastic in the future for everybody. Who knows, man? Who knows? It's all in your mind. You know, it's funny. One time, I don't know, it was in my 20s. I slapped a guy when he said something like that. And he was like, ow! And I was like, don't worry, dude, that's all in my mind. You know what I'm saying? You know, so, I mean, the real shit is real. I'm crassy. I get around on the internet. I'm crassy. I'm always up. Whoa, yeah, definitely don't. Okay. We ain't insulting anybody. I'm just glad to be online. Like I said, the last 3 years have been weird, and I'm proud of every single person out there for hanging in there. I haven't given up on anybody. So, you know, we've all had our good times and our bad times. And so even if some people may have kind of freaked out over the last few years, you know, they'll have a chance to bring it back together. And it's just weird that so many people need to hate other people or need people to fail to have their own narratives work. And that's another thing I think we're dealing with is that, like when you said the Edgar Casey maps, like some people have already said, like, all right, this is exactly what is going to happen. So I've convinced this thing is going to happen. So we have to make sure that it happens. And so I don't know what's going to happen, but I've definitely been doing what I can to prepare people for the possibility of an Edgar Casey map type scenario. And being that I lived in Houston during the time the BP oil spill happened, and that, you know, that was like you had the Japanese tsunami night where I watched the tsunami roll in. That was like, that fucked me up. That reminded me of like The Shining with all the blood in the theater doors or the hotel lobby. And then the BP spill, dude. Jon Stewart did a fantastic fucking job of covering it, but and we've had this happen in a lot of places that we just don't know about. And so the BP spill to the methane, what was the name of the guy? Tattoo? Was it Tattoo covered the sinkhole for so long, where you have the methane sinkhole in Louisiana that just kept growing? And now that I figured out the planetary orbital angular momentum thing, yeah, it's a possibility, and I would, you know, so I would do our best to prepare for it. And it would be great if NASA or anybody, there are a lot of agencies that could take, oh, fuck, that's the video I want to make. There are very few subjects like where I'm like, hey, I want to talk about this subject first. I usually let all the information come out. There is one subject, that nobody's fucking picked up on. You know, out of all the like people out there talking about this info, there's one huge, massive story out there that nobody's picked up on. You know what? I think I'm gonna make a separate video about it. Hey, thank you. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Barbie. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, everybody. Like, seriously, the fact that I'm still here live and I even have electricity and I have cigarettes. And technically, I have some marijuana. Somehow it showed up. No, but I haven't been smoking it because shit has been down. Like, and so I don't find it best to drink or smoke if I'm really down. Like, if I'm not like down, like, but just, I don't know. I got too many things I got to work out. And Brexit. And you. But I'm appreciative for everybody. I think we're all way stronger than we were a long time ago. Yeah, no, I'm definitely staying out of politics, and that's why I think, although defense purposes, probably running. But just it's issues, man. And as Planetary Defense Commander and Asteroid Fight Club and Astonishers, that I'm excited about going to the moon. And that you have so many people and so much money. Like when Pence put, was it 2021? When Pence put 21 on it, that's the timeline I'm talking about, bro. As far as like all the high level information that I have, like we got other problems we need to get together and work on as a planet. So, yeah, 2021 is me saying we're all the whole planet is going to not the whole planet, but we're going to the moon again. 2021 is way cooler than like we're going to fucking Mars in 2035. Man, nothing kills my boner faster than hearing that shit. And that was a joke. I'm trying to tell jokes again. And just negativity. I'm like, whoa, dude. I'm tired of negative. Whoa. The world is a beautiful place. I sat on my porch for like 7 hours the night that Jupiter was right next to the moon. Was it full moon night? I think it was. And Jupiter's right next to the moon, and that was a night. And I don't know what the hell's going on at the moon. There's crazy shit going on for sure. And I've heard, was it the guy that used to talk about the moon as a hologram? I mean, the idea that they're projecting something over the moon, that makes a lot of sense. Because I would think at this point we're there and we're doing stuff off it. But who knows? Maybe there are tiny little artificial intelligent glass spiders that'll get on your boots, you get in your mind, and then fucking kill everything. It's Saturday night. But I don't know, that is your opinion. On somebody said, that is your opinion, that is my opinion. South Korea. Slow mode is on. Thor, stop the SIGs. Oh man, don't make me tell that story. When I quit smoking cigarettes, I start punching holes in walls, and I get real angry because apparently forgiveness takes a long time. So when I wake up and forgive everybody every day, when I quit smoking cigarettes, it's like all that forgiveness somehow pops back up, and I'm real fucking angry. And so, yeah, every time I try to quit smoking, I just become real angry all the time. And so I always have to start smoking again because I only need the Hulk in a like collapsed society situation. Other than that, there's no need for that. I can't believe they're the 10, 12, 13, 17, 47 badass are here. But I really want to figure this situation out. I'm surprised I'm still on. And I would like to edit a video. That would be crazy. It's been so long since I edited. But thank you, everybody. And we'll see what happens. But I love you guys. I'm going to try and fix the picture shit. And then I'm going to go make a video about the one story that people haven't covered yet. But I want to do it well. That's going to take a couple hours. But I'll give you a hint. It has to do with Trump and volcanoes. So you can go find it if you want. But it's what when Obama passed the executive order for space weather, I appreciated that, and Trump just passed an executive order for volcanoes, so I appreciate that. And so, as a Planetary Defense Commander, people, I don't need to hear about anybody else's history on everything. That this issue of space weather and volcanoes is very important. So anytime, even though nobody's talked about it, which I'm about to talk about, but I'm gonna take some time so I can make it a really cool video. That's a cool thing. So a lot happened. The Mueller trial went away during this time, I think. And goddamn, since I hate politics, and I don't mean to say goddamn, but it's like the whole point of like Hemingway. If I write goddamn in a book like The Sun Also Rises, I'm doing it as a writer. It's not me disrespecting God. I understand the weight of the words that I chose, I'm saying, volcanoes, man, volcanoes. But we can adapt to volcanoes because volcanoes are slow, except when they're not. And I love you guys. And I'll be back. See, Jersey, but Jersey said, let's troll Brie Larson on Twitter. And man, trolling it's not my thing. I don't like being under the bridge unless we're jet skiing and then you're only under a bridge for like 4 seconds. And so, Avengers, Game of Thrones. Yeah, dude, I got like 17 days to find a female to watch Game of Thrones with, because I don't care if like you don't like it or you think it's a bad idea. Yes, I would still take a chance of getting the shit kicked out of me for 2 fucking years straight in a way that doesn't make any sense and in no way balances out with how I treated someone compared to how they treated me post-wise. I would take a chance to hold a girl's hand during Game of Thrones for 2 years, getting the shit kicked out of me again. I definitely would do that. So, I got 17 days before Game of Thrones comes out. And then you got Avengers. And then you get Game of Thrones again. So there's going to be like a magical, if you were going to start dating someone, April sounds like a great month to kick off a couple dates, Who knows? Dating might be the most dangerous thing you do outside of traffic. But I'm just saying. Yeah. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, it's like radio. But yeah, so Game of Thrones. And I wonder I hope Sansa ends up with the Hound. I hope Arya ends up with Gendry. I hope they all work it out, man. And I hope there are more scenes between the bad pirate and Jaime. Because, I don't know. It's such a great show. I know some people don't like it when you love stuff, but I love to love things. And Game of Thrones has definitely just been phenomenal. I hope Bree and Jaime get together. Hell yeah, dude. Ever since the hot tub scene. They had a hot tub scene in Harry Potter. That was weird, dude, because that's why I was like, oh, I don't know. Remember the girl, like Harry Potter's in the tub and then the woman just like, boom, hello, Harry. Is there anything I can do for you? And he's like, no, I'm fine. I was like, dude, that is not true. If you are a 16-year-old boy in a hot tub, some naked woman is like, is there anything I can do for you? Like, can you towel me off when I get out? Or do you think I should air dry like Cuba Gooding Jr. and Jerry Maguire? 60 strong. Well, this is an important 60. And I definitely see some familiar, energetic faces that I'm glad we're all here. And as part of the all-female X-Men Marvel DCU romantic comedy crossover thing, the comics don't ever do the dating stuff for like everybody's asexual. And so in a sexual world, things can be complicated and egos can flare up and down. So, it's a learning process. So I'm glad that all the X-Men are here. And the Avengers, and the Justice League, and the Astonishers, and the Asteroid Fight Club. And everybody, everyone. What can I do? Yeah, I got to figure out how to turn the screen on. Texas is in a good spot right now. Though if the earthquake, because remember there was like a 7.5 earthquake in the Caribbean or the Gulf like a year and a month ago. So knowing that nobody knows everything or even close to anything, I don't know. There's always like an 8.0 earthquake that just could pop the fuck out of nowhere. Like the thing that's tripping me out lately is all these weird earthquakes in Africa. And you're like, wait, why is there an earthquake there? Wait, why is there an earthquake there? Copyright the deets and call me. It was at the Bender pitch night. Yeah, with Judge and Chris. That would be cool. Although we might get in trouble. I can pee for 2 minutes without stoppage. Thank you. Earthquake lights. I don't know, the skies have been crazy lately. I thought I saw clouds behind the moon the other night. Like literally, clouds went in front and then clouds went behind the moon. And I'm like, and the sun has been magnificent. I do the thing where I close my eyes, I look at the sun and then I close my eyes and then just see the imprint that it leaves behind. I've been doing that for a long time. And a few days ago, I could there was it was like a beam of light that was connecting like an umbilical cord between Earth and the sun. I'd never seen that before. And it went away after a while, but it looked like there was an actual connection between the sun and the sun was sending us a whole lot of fucking something. I was like, that's crazy. That's wild. So, I spent a lot more time on my porch during the spring, and the spring's been wonderful. But it adds more romance. Avengers X had romance like Women of Watchmen. And special shout out to Miss Jupiter and her daughter. I always forget their. Yeah, but I really like that. Yeah, the X-Men are so cool. But I guess still, I think Superman 2 with Christopher Reeves I still think is the best superhero movie of all time. Right over Avengers, and Christopher Reeves Superman was amazing. If you like that type of bubblegum wedding cake tab pop music of movies, you guys are great. So I love you. And I'm Crow. Yeah, shout out to Crow, dude. Like everybody, I think you can get close to some truth, then you find a lot of trouble. But we're all still here. And the connections between people. Have you guys been feeling that more intensely lately? That the people you are connected to, where you're more aware that you're connected to other people in the world. I definitely believe in that. And so every time I put out a video, I'm almost like recharging a connection I have with everybody who watches. So to even take a break away from connecting with so many people so often, so many times, it was. I didn't mind getting some rest because I got a feeling it's going to be a run. I want you guys to know I love you, and we are going to. I actually think it's going to be okay. Somehow we're going to work it out. I don't have a lot of evidence to back that up. On the fact that I'm still alive, we're still alive, and civilization is still standing. And that much is right with the world. And God is great, and y'all are pretty awesome too. So I love y'all. Y'all stay cool. And Davey boy, if not enjoying stuff is your thing, then try not to. I don't know. I don't know how to give negative advice. We post negative advice. But I want you to know I love you. And I love you. And happy Saturday Night Live. And go watch Pitch Perfect if you've never seen it before. It's really, really, really great. And Dr. Manhattan knows everything, but what is Dr. Manhattan without love? Love is something that science, no religion can explain fully. Not even poetry can. I love y'all. Y'all stay cool. And I'm going to see if I can edit, because I like my edited videos. I miss my edited videos. And you guys are amazing. Stay cool, and I'll talk to you soon. I'm so happy. I'm hugging you guys over the internet right now. I love you. You guys are cool. Yay.